Good morning, Mr. Valentine. Can you hear me?
I can, Judge Han.
How are you this morning?
I'm well. How are you?
Thank you. Just want to, before we get rolling, I want to make sure Tracy's ready to go. Tracy, are you on the call and ready?
Good morning, Judge. I'm ready.
Good morning. Nice to hear your voice. I also see a Kelly Milan. Do you want to turn the camera on?
Yes, Mr. Milan is
Sorry.
my client, and he is the owner. He is the owner of Tasco.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning and welcome, Mr. Milan.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Before we get rolling, Mr. Valentine, have you spoken with anybody from applicant MedRide or their counsel?
I have reached out to their lawyer, who indicated that in fact she was the correct attorney, and that she would be handling this case, but I do not see her on this call.
And was that I believe the name I saw was Lenora Plimpton, is that accurate?
Yes, that's correct.
Plimpton, okay. And so she was aware of today's pre-hearing conference?
I assume that she was served since she was on the document, but certainly MedRide was served. I don't, I don't know. I mean, it seemed to me like the communication between MedRide and their lawyer might have been a little iffy, because she was a little bit nonplussed when I reached out to her. So I don't know what the situation is there.
Okay. Just one moment. Casey, do you need to tell me something? You've got your hand up.
Yes, I was just going to let you know, the only person I sent the Zoom info to was the MedRide transportation email. I didn't know there was a lawyer for MedRide. Let me see if I can find, I don't know if I have an email address for her.
I don't believe she's entered her appearance. I think that's the problem here.
Got it.
I only saw her name on the application itself, and she didn't sign it. It was somewhere in the middle. I happened to notice it.
I did suggest that she might want to enter an appearance.
Okay, well, let's proceed with the pre-hearing conference, since the rest of us are here and ready to go. Maybe we can work out some dates, and then I'll make sure she's added to the certificate of service.
I would be happy to reach out to her and inform her of what transpires. You of course will issue a written order, which will let at least MedRide know that there's now a hearing date and so forth.
Yes, that'd be great, Mr. Valentine. I greatly appreciate it. But let's go ahead and let me officially call this and start the hearing. We are here on proceeding number 23A-0347CP-EXT. If I could go ahead and have appearances.
Good morning, Judge Han. I'm Mark Valentine from the law firm of Keys and Fox, and I'm here on behalf of Tasco.
And would you also introduce your client, Mr. Valentine?
Yes, and with me is Mr. Kelly Milan, the owner of Tasco.
Thank you so much, Mr. Valentine. And just so the record is clear, we are here on a pre-hearing conference. Today is September 26, 2023 at 10:30 a.m., the appointed time for this pre-hearing conference. It was set by decision number R23-0603-I, which was mailed on September 15th. I did check the certificate of service, and applicant MedRide was served. And as my paralegal Casey indicated, MedRide was sent a link to the Zoom call for this hearing, but MedRide has not appeared. We've also been discussing whether MedRide's counsel, they state they have counsel, and Mr. Valentine has indicated he spoke with that counsel, Lenora Plimpton, Plimpton, but Ms. Plimpton has not entered an appearance, and I don't believe as a result she was actually served with notice of this hearing. So Mr. Valentine, why don't we go ahead and maybe we can work out some dates, and you can answer a few questions for me. And, if there's a problem with the eventual hearing date, I guess MedRide can let us know.
Yeah. I think, Judge, you indicated that you would prefer a hearing in December.
That was my goal, because our deadline, commission deadline is 250 days is April 22nd, 2024. And I do need time to write it. The holidays are going to fall in the middle, and I've got a giant hearing set for the end of January. So is that possible for you, Mr. Valentine?
I can make it work. I might actually have a trip to Southeast Asia the first couple weeks of December, actually for some energy work, amazingly enough.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I feel lucky to maybe even have that chance. But we could do a hearing. I think, Judge, you might want, don't you typically prefer 2 days?
Well, I mean, given that this is just an extension, I was thinking one would probably be sufficient.
I was hoping you would say that. The 15th of December.
I think that works. Hang on, let me get there. Friday, the 15th of December. That's clear on my calendar, and clear on the commission's calendar. So that would work.
Okay, that's great. We would also love for this to be in Grand Junction, because that's where all of the witnesses will be coming from, and that's where the service territory is.
Okay. So do you want it in person in Grand Junction?
Yes, please.
Okay. Because we could do fully remote as well if you prefer, but.
We could. I think that in this case, we would prefer in person.
Okay, that's fine. We can set that up. I believe we have a location that allows us to set up hearings without cost, hopefully. So Grand Junction on December 15th should be fine, barring snow.
Yep.
Okay.
It's an El Nino winter, so we don't know what that means, but
no. What does it normally? Does it normally mean like not as much snow for us and more down south or something like that?
Yeah, southern Colorado, Wolf Creek Pass, and Durango tend to get more snow. So
sad for the ski season up, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Witness and exhibit lists. There seems to be a change in how the judges like to set this up, so that it's everybody's filing simultaneous witness and exhibit lists. I'm more used to the applicant filing, and then we get to see, and we can then figure out our witnesses. That's kind of how I've been doing it. So
I'm more comfortable with that, to be quite honest. I think that gives me a chance to digest it, and it gives you a chance to digest it. I tend to go I tried to go 3-3-3. So what do you think about that? Would put applicants first round on October 13th.
Okay.
And then yours on November 3rd. And applicants, reply would be due.
I don't think you need a reply for witnessing exhibit list. Do we finalize them?
Well, I give them a chance to do an amended one.
Okay.
An updated one. That's all it would be. Updated, amended, if there's something that pops up.
Okay.
But that would, under my 3-3-3 calendar, would fall on the Friday after Thanksgiving. So maybe I'll just say Wednesday, the 22nd.
Okay.
Which might be make someone unhappy, but hopefully it's not a big deal.
No.
So that's a Friday, and a Wednesday, with a hearing on Friday, the December 15th in Grand Junction.
Right.
Okay. In person schedule. Statements of position. Do you have a date in mind for that?
I'm good with the 5th
of January.
Yeah, does that work for you, Your Honor?
Yeah, that's good. I mean, if I set it for, like, giving you 2 weeks would put it at around December 29th, which I guarantee you I won't be reading it that week.
Yeah.
Sorry, my kids will be home from school.
Yeah.
Okay, so January 5th is perfect.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right. And then What else? If you don't mind, Mr. Valentine, the reason I actually called this was I was trying to get a sense of where the interventor is coming from, because as I read the existing CPCN, it's for the entire state of Colorado, starting from El Paso County, right? So I'm just not entirely clear. I mean, there was, as I understood it, there was no interventions when they originally filed, and now there is. So what is it about the extension that's so objectionable?
Well, I think that the extension is for Mesa County. And this is where Mr. Milan's business has its core center of operations and where its service territory exists. And we're just MedRide is historically not a shuttle provider. It's a non-emergent medical transportation provider that provides service to the state's healthcare agency for the state's Department of Healthcare Policy and Financing. There, I spit it out. And they basically provide service to Medicaid recipients. So we don't fully understand why on earth they want to be operating in Mesa County as a shuttle provider. And so we'd like to learn more about that. And I think we just have a very different view of the market, perhaps, than they do. And we would like to explore that and figure out what it is they're trying to do. As Your Honor knows, often I try to settle these cases to see if there's something that can be worked out. But we haven't even begun yet, so I don't know.
So 2 questions that pop into my head. First of all, before I forget, did you want to set any kind of a settlement deadline? Sometimes people do. It's a soft deadline, obviously, but if you want one in there,
I think that's a good idea. And I would suggest that we set it a week before the hearing.
That seems reasonable. So December 7th?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good. And then the next question I have is, as I read, and it's not clear to me, again, this is why I called the pre-hearing conferences, because I was unclear as to what the application was looking for and what the intervention was objection to. But even though they're providing a shuttle service, are they going to be providing the same kind of medical rides to Medicaid patients? I mean, I kind of interpreted it that way, but maybe I'm misunderstanding the application.
That's one of the things that we would like to know, Your Honor.
All right.
Because they have the ability to do that under their authority from healthcare policy and financing, if you can even call it an authority. We just don't have any idea what they want to do.
Okay, that's fine. That's perfect.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to us. I'm sure it makes a lot of sense to them. And so, we'll proceed with discovery and see what happens.
Right. All right. Perfect. Thank you so much, Mr. Valentine. Those were the issues I had. So I didn't really have anything else I needed to address unless there's something you want to bring up.
Mr. Milan, do you have any?
No, this is great. I'm good.
All right.
Great. Thank you,
That's
Your
great.
Honor.
Okay. So thank you very much. I've got those dates. I'll go ahead and get a setting order out. I'm going to add Ms. Plimpton to our certificate of service. Even though she hasn't entered an appearance, but I think that's okay. I'm just not sure how else to reach her. Yeah.
I can forward Your Honor her email address if that's of any use to you. I think you could use the information that's in the application and use that. That's what I did.
Okay. That's what I'll do, Mr. Valentine. And honestly, if I may ask a favor of you, Mr. Valentine, if you wouldn't mind reaching out to her again, let her know that we held this.
Okay.
You can maybe informally tell her the dates we have and that she needs to enter an appearance. It would make things a little easier for the PUC.
Okay, will do.
All right. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you.
Nice meeting you virtually, Mr. Milan. We are adjourned.
Thank you. Likewise. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.